Hola, hola, chicos. Today we're talking about some more irregular preterite verbs. So quick reminder before I give you the new ones, these are the preterite irregulars that you've already learned. So remember the 5 irregular preterite stems that we learned pretty recently: stuv, tuv, pus, sup, and pud, right? And then the ones that we learned even last year in Spanish 1, and we reviewed them toward the beginning of the year: fui, hice, vi, and di, right? So you're familiar with these 10 verbs already in the irregular preterite. And unfortunately, the preterite is one of the more complex verb tenses, and it has lots and lots of irregulars. So today you're getting the final 4 irregulars that you'll need to know for Spanish 2 in the preterite. And here they are. So filling in your guided note, we have venir. Venir, of course, means to come. And then we have querer. Querer means to want. And so the irregular preterite stems here are vin and quis. And these are going to take the same set of irregular endings that we used with our previous set of irregular preterite stems. So it was like the mix of the kind of the ER or the AR-ER endings, but no accent marks, right? So we have vine, viniste, vino, vinimos, vinisteis, and vinieron. So again, since this is preterite, it would be like I came, you came, he or she came to the party, or whatever. The next verb is querer. Querer means to want, and it is quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisistes, quisieron. Again, no accent marks on any of the irregulars in the preterite. Awesome. So those are the first 2. The second 2 are what we call J stems. They're stems that end in J. Decir, the stem is dich, and traer, the stem is trach. Decir, of course, means to say or to tell, and traer means to bring. Now there's one slight little irregularity that we'll see down here that happens in third person plural with decir and traer. So your conjugation of decir looks like dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijisteis, and then dijeron. Notice that in that third person plural form, you are going to drop the I. Okay, and that happens with all of the stems that end in J. You'll probably get a few more in Spanish 3. Dijeron. Okay, and then we have traer, to bring. It's traje, trajiste, trajo, trajimos, trajistes, and trajeron. Again, drops the I out of that third person plural ending. Just dijeron and trajeron. So make sure you make yourself a note of that little irregularity. Okay, going back up in your guided notes to the little note about the verb different meaning. That verb is querer. So we said normally querer means to want. In the preterite, however, it can mean tried to do something. So remember, the preterite is that specific time that something happened. So, quisimos ver las ruinas, like we tried to see the ruins, but we couldn't, right? So make yourself a note about the verb querer. Doesn't always mean wanted. It can also mean tried in the preterite. So how would you do these examples? Mis hermanos y yo. The verb is querer visitar los volcanes Ixta y Popo. My brothers and I wanted to visit the volcanoes. Or we tried to visit the volcanoes. Your irregular preterite stem is quis. And then your ending is imos. Quisimos. Second example, mi mamá blank la cámara para tomar fotos. Mom brought the camera to take photos. So your irregular stem is trach, and then it ends in O. Trajo for mi mamá. Again, be really careful not to confuse the yo form and the el ella form, right? Because it's very different than present tense. Third example, nosotros también blank a las ruinas de Tula. We also came to the Tula ruins. Venir, your stem is vin. So it would be vinimos. And last one, el guía nos blank que las ruinas eran muy viejas. Be really, really careful with this one. Who's your subject in this sentence? The guide, this here is told us. So nos is not nosotros, right? It's not your subject. Your subject here is the guide. The guide told us the ruins were very old, so it would be third person singular form, dijo. Now move on to try some of the practice with the new irregular preterite.